Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
That kid is back on the escalator again.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Is my boomstick!
Game over, man. It's game over.
Welcome to the Bargain Bin. Here's your host, Ben Mason.
He's your co-host, Sandro Luketic. And today, we're talking 1988's Pumpkinhead, but with a special caveat, because we have back with us, not heard since Money Plane, Mike. Welcome.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Sandro. Glad to be back.
Now, again, another caveat. We assume if you're listening to this episode, you've already seen the movie. And honestly, guys, Mike, welcome. Sandro, hi. You two have a history with this that I'm not overly familiar with, but I'm very excited to hear about it and talk about it. So please get into why we're covering Pumpkinhead tonight.
Okay, well, I'll start it off because it was my pick. And you say you don't know what the history is, except that I explained it on our Money Plane episode. When Mike and I were in elementary school, he was actually the first one to kind of introduce me to watching, I'll say, less than stellar movies for entertainment purposes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and that was a tradition that down the road, I considered baton was passed to you. Pumpkinhead was one of the earlier ones that really stood out to me. It wasn't the first one. I think the first one was actually the Willies, I want to say. But but Pumpkinhead was like the one that kind of always stood out as the milestone marker for that tradition, we'll say. And when we had Mike on for Money Plane, I said that one day I had to have him back on to talk about Pumpkinhead because it was iconic for that reason. And we purposely waited a very long time because we wanted to make it a Halloween week episode.
Mm-hmm. 'Tis the season.
That's how I remember it too. I remember watching that. It must have been back in grade 8 and just rewinding scene after scene after scene. A movie that's, I would guess, an hour and 40 minutes probably took us 2.5, close to 3 hours between the pausing and rewinding. So it was awesome.
Now, I hate to possibly bring up a conversation we've already had, but Mike, please tell me and tell our listeners, what about bad movies or cult classics enamored you as much as it has? Because we've talked movies before, and I really appreciate your taste in film, but it's not for everyone. So where did that start for you?
Just the ludicrousness of some of the scenes. Predictability can be some of it. The horrible costumes, which I'm not going to give it away, but I think this does not meet that criteria. I think some of the costumes are amazing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just ludicrous murder scenes, cheesy lines, just really got me. And yeah, I don't know. I just obvious plot lines. It was just perfect, just absolutely perfect to listen to and watch these things unfold just as you'd expect them to. And sometimes just a ridiculous scene that made no sense. It had no purpose and like plot lines that just had huge holes in them.
Yeah.
What happened to that guy? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where I really enjoyed these movies.
We are very much on the same page here. That's why I love Charles Band stuff from the 90s, like Wizard and Full Moon Pictures, stuff like that, where there's no way you can really defend them. They're terrible movies, but they're so formative and so much fun that I think everyone's kind of hung up on only being able to appreciate a film because it is a well-made piece of art and not a car wreck that's just unfolding on your screen. Because those are the most enjoyable for me. And yeah, I think we have potentially a good one here. This one straddles the line for me. Like it's not even a car wreck. At times it's a full-on train wreck, Titanic disaster. It's the Hindenburg going down while being competent at the same time somehow. It's a weird juggling act that's going on here. And Sandro, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this movie.
I think you can.
So that what you just mentioned there, Ben, is just exactly what makes it such a great movie, is that it's not trying to be ridiculous, and you get that from its competence, that it does run along a plot line that you know that they're trying. It's just some of the acting and some of the scenes are just, maybe they don't hit the way they intended them to.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And I think part of that goes with the fact that it's directed not by a well-known film director, but by a special effects wizard, Stan Winston. And as a special effects guy working as a director, I can't knock him on this one. I really can't. Did either of you know this was based off of a poem?
No.
Yeah. By Ed Justin.
Justin?
Ed Justin. Yeah, I've got it here. I want to read it for you because
Please.
it's no, I'm not doing it in a facetious way. Like, I think it's actually pretty good. Does it tie in with the film? Fuck no. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, I apologize for my reading. It's been a long day, but I'm going to go ahead right here. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Keep away from Pumpkinhead unless you're tired of living. His enemies are mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving. Laugh at him and you're undone, but in some dreadful fashion. Vengeance he considers fun and plans it with a passion. Time will not erase or blot a plot that he is brewing. It's when you think that he's forgot, he'll conjure your undoing. Bolted doors and windows barred, guard dogs prowling in the yard, won't protect you in your bed. Nothing will from Pumpkinhead. I love it.
Why would that exist?
I don't know why. It's just poetry, man. It's a fun little story.
Okay.
I like what do you have against that? That's a great little thing to like freak out kids on Halloween or Valentine's Day or your birthday or Christmas. Who cares?
If it's written to spook kids on Halloween, then yeah, it's perfectly fun.
That's it.
That encapsulates the movie very well, I think. I think it's good. I like that. I might save that for like a bedtime story for my kids, you know?
Okay. I don't know if that's a great idea.
I like my kids. I swear.
Apparently not. But that's fine. Yeah. Scare the shit out of them with Pumpkinhead.
All right. So before we jump in, Ben, I do want to ask, because we focused a lot on myself and Mike, but what was your history with the movie prior to this?
Jesus, boys. I don't know. I saw this a long time ago, probably when it came out on VHS. So if it was released in 88, I probably saw it 89, 90. So I was like, 7, 8 years old. And it's always kind of, and this is kind of a spoiler to my reaction and my final statements on it, but it's always kind of rung hollow for me. There's so many ideas that I wanted to see followed through with, and it doesn't really happen. But this movie's not even an hour and a half long, so they just kind of hit you over the head with stuff and keep it running. I'm always going to watch something with Lance Henriksen. How can you say no? You give him a flamethrower? Sure. I'm down even more. But he's a staple in not just the horror genre, but the action genre, the sci-fi genre. Like, if you're going to see a movie that has Lance Henriksen, not just in it, but as the lead, you give it the time that it needs. So I saw him on the cover. The VHS cover was terrible back in the day when I had like Blood Wings, the sequel, so much better for artwork. But no, this was a regular viewing for me back in the day. I'd say, honestly, right up there with Dawn of the Dead. I haven't watched it in a long time, so it was interesting to revisit. I can't wait to hear what you two have to say.
All right, well, let's not delay it any further. Ben, take us through this movie.
All right, well, we start off in 1957, the year of our Lord. The Harley family locked down the rural shack or cabin, or what for the night. And honestly, and this is really embarrassing, guys, this is the first time watching this movie where I realized that it's Ed's family and Ed is the little boy.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh.
I know. And this goes along with what I was saying before. It's something where you put it on and you want to be invested and you just aren't. You're just watching stuff and you're waiting for something worthwhile to happen. You're not paying attention to names. You just want to see this monster. And honestly, we're like 10 minutes in before anything even starts to happen. It's a short runtime. That's a problem. So Ed's mother asks, will it be all right? Should I be afraid? As a man is running through the woods from an unseen assailant. And of course, he arrives at the Harleys, but is refused entry as he flees, killed by a monster. So, ignoring what I just said about me not realizing it's Ed's family, how do we feel about this intro?
We get right into it. I like that. I like the fact that we're given a bit of a backstory to Ed's tragic upbringing, and kind of gives us a reason why he's the man that he becomes. Mm-hmm. Right. I think that's a bit of a good backstory there.
I agree. I think it's a perfect way to set up the story for what it is. It's such a classic 80s creature feature intro.
Right.
But having watched so many movies since this came out, like this is begging for a Rob Zombie remake for me. Like how he bastardized Halloween with all this redneck culture. That is what this movie needs. And I find it goes way too light on it.
I think you mispronounced R.L. Stein.
Oh, come on.
Jack Black starring as Ed Harley.
Goosebumps!
I would watch that.
Yeah, I would watch that too, actually. Sandra, how do you feel about this? It's like a really fast open.
At this point in the movie, I'm totally fine with it. It sets up a lot of intrigue about, because you do get this kind of origin to Ed Harley's connection to Pumpkinhead, but you don't get why Pumpkinhead is about, how it gets to be. Like, there's just this intrigue of, oh, well, why are they just hiding from this monster? Why is the monster not attacking them?
Yeah.
It's fine for that, but later on, it is very problematic.
Extremely. You also mispronounced his name.
What? What are you talking about?
It's pronounced Ed
Harley.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Anyway, we'll cut to the present and grown Ed Harley and his flamethrower torching brush. I think it's a pretty good transition though, because they use the fire to bring us to the present day. The present day being over like 30 years ago, 40 years ago almost. And we meet Ed's son, Billy. Now, my next note just says, I've always hated this kid.
What did he do to you?
He's so annoying. Obviously, they didn't know how to write children in this. And they didn't know how to hire children that knew how to act in this. Because this kid is the worst.
It's the Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah, okay, Joel.
I'm loving Billy.
What?
I felt for Billy. He lost his dog, and
No, he didn't.
Well, he was trying to save his dog, and that's noble.
That's fair. Yes, it is noble.
He's a noble boy.
It's not like he had to feel the pain of losing his dog for very long.
No, I just felt the pain of the dirt bike.
Because of feeling bad for the kid, my next note just says Henriksen is ripped. But he, at the same time, like he's jacked, but somehow looks like one of those Sphinx cats, where like it's kind of gross.
Yeah, after you get to a certain age, looking jacked is weird, right?
Yeah, he looks like Iggy Pop, where like you can see that he's got some muscle, but he's
also got a heroin addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes. Good point. Next up, and like this is a serious question. How do we feel about this whole hand washing thing? Because I feel like it's supposed to give some weight to the connection between the two and how Ed was raised. And it comes up later, but is then completely disregarded. So do you think, either of you, do you think that this is trying to make the movie a little bit more serious? Or is it just a failed attempt at doing that?
I'm going to go with failed because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Thank you. No, that's exactly what I was going for. Because it comes up later, too, after Billy's dead, where he has to wash his hands when he takes him home. Because it's the whole point about being clean, right?
Oh.
But the movie is so stupid that trying to give it this much weight feels so unbalanced and lost on me. I was hoping that it hit you guys the same way, but the fact that it didn't even hit you at all, I think proves my point.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped the ball on focusing on people's hand washing habits in movies. Next time I'll do better.
Dude, that's the focus of the scene. He brings it up saying that like his mother made him wash his hands and he has to wash his hands. He has to be clean. At the same time, though, Henriksen looks like a complete country bumpkin and that accent is horrible.
Now, you were watching Pumpkinhead, right? That's the movie you watched?
Yes, R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead.
Perfect.
And Billy gives his father this necklace. And I think this is the exact same thing because it doesn't carry any weight. And then they cut to it at the end of the movie when it's getting dirt thrown on it. I'm just sitting there like, I don't care. Like, I know what's happening. I don't need to see that. This movie is, I feel like I'm shitting on it way too early because of the importance it has in our histories. But am I misspeaking here, or does this seem just to be a little too much for us?
No, that's fine. You're adding depth to the criticism that I am now intrigued to watch it again.
I'm with you though, Ben, in that like they do make a focus of this necklace, but it never becomes a factor. You could even say that like, oh, if later on they needed some sort of item with a personal connection, or something like that. Oh, hey, to summon Pumpkinhead, you need to sacrifice something that had a personal connection, like something. But the necklace just never comes back other than from a visual standpoint later in the movie when it's all said and done, just to remind you that it was there, but it never served a purpose other than to maybe express the connection between them. But I mean, they're father-son, so we kind of already knew they had a connection.
Yeah, and when I saw that introduced, I was curious. And then when it came at the end where they focus on it, it's one of the last shots of the movie. I was just like, Sandra's going to make that better.
Yeah, so this is how you do it. You have the dad give the son the necklace, and then later the necklace reveals to you that the woman brought the son back as Pumpkinhead.
Nailed it.
Okay.
That's exactly it. But we start telling the kid this story, and then we just cut to, and I hate to say this, but I have it written as city kids because I don't know who these people are supposed to be.
City kids.
Range. They're not even kids. They're in their late 20s, early 30s. Joel's like 49, but they act like teenagers. So who are these people?
Did you not watch television in the 80s? These are high school students.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. This movie came out in yes, Tough Turf was amazing.
Yeah, but those high school students were like 40.
Let's see how old Joel was when this came out. Oh, he was only 30.
See? There you go. Yeah.
Oh, he looks rough. He was that's a hard 30. He has to be dead, right? Let's see. No, he's 67 now. Oh my god. He was in Third Rock from the Sun and Xena?
And Seinfeld. Yeah.
Okay. All right, my bad. He still looks way too old for his role. But anyway.
Yak.
The soundtrack is awful. Did anyone grab that at all?
No.
No, it belongs in Tremors at best. But Ed owns store.
Yes. Yes, back to the movie.
How? Yeah, I don't know.
Did you notice the
Go ahead.
sign for the store?
Harley and Son.
Yeah, but like the and son is just poorly painted next to the Harley above the grocery.
Oh, everything above this is poorly.
Yeah.
Ed Poorly. He does not seem like a business owner to me.
To the business.
But Mike, as you said, Joel makes fun of Billy's Coke bottle glasses.
Oh.
And this guy, he sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Even his friends don't.
Yeah. We're getting to know that Joel's a real douche, real jerk, as Norm Macdonald would call him. You know, we don't like Joel at all. Immediately, we're supposed to not like Joel, but we'll talk more about Joel later. As far as my favorite character, not to give it away.
No. Oh my God. I'm very curious about the awards this time around.
I do love how Joel makes the crack about the kid's glasses and like turns to his friends like, and every one of them just shuts him down like, no, man.
Well, he's the worst.
Is it premeditated? Does he not like Billy that much, maybe? Was it all Joel's plan?
His whole plan was to go and feign accidentally murdering a child with a dirt bike.
I think he knew Billy. I think he's been up there before. And he saw Billy, and then he came up with this plan to go dirt biking at the general store, just to finish Billy off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get that prequel down the road, Pumpkinhead, Seeds of Murder. It's all but a grown man plotting to kill a child he's never met, based off of his dislike of his appearance and his inability to have perfect vision.
Yeah, see? You got it.
There we go. Why does Joel decide to rip around on that dirt bike? Like, they're just stopping quickly. He's like, this is my opportunity.
Been drinking, and I feel like this is the best time for me to ride my dirt bike.
Right?
Yeah.
He's embarrassed that nobody liked his joke, and he's just like, fine, screw you guys, I'm going for a ride.
You know what? He does impress the ladies with his moves. I think a couple of them are quite impressed with his dirt bike moves. So I think that's his way of redeeming himself. That might be his only source of confidence and where he finds his worth.
I don't know. He's kind of already forced to hang out with the group because it's his brother that is the other guy. It's like, man, you're already a tag along.
You're tagging along with your little brother's friends, though.
Yeah.
Like, how bad is that? They just really need to go ass sliding, Sandro. It would have been a much better time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And a truck full of yokels arrive.
Yes.
And I think really saves the scene, mainly because of Buck Flowers.
You're forgetting about Blossom.
Oh, no, she's there. I know. She doesn't know what a camera is.
Yeah, it's impressive. So later on, she becomes a neuroscientist.
Yeah. How far removed are they from the big city is a question I have. Because apparently this town doesn't even have a doctor.
You can ask that question, you're not going to get an answer. Look at their grocery store. It's on the side of the road with nothing around it. It would make sense if this was a gas station, but their grocery store is just a shack on the side of a road in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. Elliot Sun Grocery. It's a pretty bumping place.
And we got some pretty sick dirt biking trails. So, like a regular grocery
how does
store.
that even work? So, the country kids, and I assume they're all family. When we get into it, I don't know how 5 kids, their parents and grandparents live in a one-room shack, but that's a thing. They torment one of their own about Pumpkinhead.
I think they use a few of the lines that you just read us from the poem, too.
Yeah.
A couple, yeah. But how does nobody else seem to know this?
What do you mean, how does nobody else seem to know this?
Well, Ed knows about it because he has a flashback at one point of the monster killing that guy outside of his house, even though he never saw it. So now he's having a flashback for it.
Well, he's doing it right now while they're doing the chant. He's leaning on the cash register and daydreaming about when that happened.
Yeah, and like I don't know how because he never saw it, but everyone seems to know the story of Pumpkinhead without actually knowing the story of Pumpkinhead. So does everyone know about this witch in the forest? Because if they do, they should. Yeah, well,
The swamp people know. Like they're swamp people, right? And I think that I think the swamp. I think that's known within the community.
That's the only community. There's no one else in this movie. It's Ed and Son's grocery, the swamp people, and a witch. That's all the people that live around here.
I find it interesting that of the 5 kids, it's like one of the middle boys has no idea who Pumpkinhead is. But even the girls that are younger than him and the older ones are taunting him with it. It's like, guess he just wasn't listening during story time.
Yeah. It's so many plot holes. Mike, you brought up plot holes in this movie. Have we passed over any that you would like to bring up?
It's not yet. There's a few that are coming.
I'm so excited. Like, trust me, as soon as I heard that, like, I'm waiting with bated breath right now.
Good.
So Ed has to go pick up Buck Flowers or like Pa Wallace or Grandpa Wallace's seed or feed or whatever. So he tells Billy to stay inside the store with the dog Gypsy. Can't say that anymore. What if customers show up while Ed's gone?
Billy would help them.
Billy can't help himself.
Not if they're riding motorcycles in the store.
Oh, God.
If he stayed inside, he'd be fine.
Of course,
Gypsy.
the dog Gypsy runs outside and Billy runs after him and tragedy strikes.
I mean, kind of glances by side next to it, but sure, yeah, strikes.
You know what's cool though is that Billy does get a really
Cool.
It's really cool about the child death scene is that Billy has an opportunity to see some really cool dirt bike moves. And it seems like he appreciates the first bike that goes by and even the second bike, which is why I think he was frozen in amazement. I don't think he was petrified in fear. I think he was so awestruck by the amazing moves that Joel does as he takes the leap towards him. He's kind of shaking his front tire back and forth. I don't know if that has a special name, but that Billy loves it. Billy is enthralled and can't think to get out of the way. And I think that's a good way to go, right? You know, he's a little young, but I think if he has to go, what a cool way to go, you know?
Checking out some sweet motorcycle tricks.
Yeah, really though. Come on. Right? Did anyone else feel that way?
No, I felt like the motorcycle missed him entirely, and then he just flailed to the side.
So possibly that's what took his life. Is what's more? What else is there to live for? You know, maybe he took his own life.
It was moment. Cardiac arrest from the adrenaline of so much awesome.
See, yeah, that's it.
I really think this movie would have done so much better or so much more for me if it took a more realistic approach. Like when Wallace is like asking for his feed, Ed's like, I don't have it. I forgot it. Well, I need it. He's like, well, you have to wait. And then he just stays at the store. Not Billy, but like Joel gets on the bike. And if he's drunk and that's what happens, he like takes off and like 5 feet after he starts going, hits a rock and just face plants over the handlebars. This movie hinges on so many coincidences.
Yes, this is true.
You say Billy needs to die?
This is coming from the guy that likes him, though, right? I'm the only one that liked Billy, right? So just remember that. You're making me sound bad when, like, you take that quote out of context, right? When I say Billy needs to die. But Billy needs to die, right?
Well, I
Billy
think what you mean
die.
is for the movie to actually happen. If Billy doesn't die, that's the end of the movie. They buy their groceries and they go on their way.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Can you imagine if nothing happens with Billy, but they forgot to pay for like some potatoes? So Ed goes to the witch and gets Pumpkinhead to come back. We'll get to my problems with that revenge thing. But yeah, so as we said, Joel hits Billy, nearly killing him. But we don't really know when Billy dies, do we?
I think he dies while he's laying there. Like, I don't think it is immediate, because it does seem like they're checking for a pulse. He's still not gone.
Well, the only thing they don't check for a pulse. I definitely looked for that. They do turn him on his side, and then they want to keep him warm, but no one checks a pulse. And then Steve makes one of my favorite quotes. He's getting cold, and that is 30 seconds after he's struck by the motorcycle, which seems a little bit abrupt for rigor mortis to be kicking in. But you know what? Like, Billy's different, right? Billy's built different.
He was.
He was built a little different after the bike hit. Joel saying he came out of nowhere is a problem for me. Because, like, no, he was standing there. You came out of nowhere. But Joel, having been drinking, fears what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the next best thing to do is assault your girlfriend and get the keys to your car and speed off while also drunk. Everyone else tries to help, except for him.
Which is kind of where the first of the problems with the quote-unquote revenge comes in.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up.
No, I definitely would have brought that up. Like, I understand being, in mourning that you lost your son, but the whole revenge thing is a little hard to swallow when he gets back there, and the one guy is staying back and standing over him and asking him if he needs help.
Steve? Yeah, Steve's doing everything he can.
Steve's a sweetheart. He's doing the best thing within his capacity to do, right?
Yes. I think he is. Can we agree that Steve is probably the kindest person in the movie?
By far, other than Billy.
Yeah, okay. No, yeah, sure. I guess.
You can't
but
say
if
Billy
Steve
wasn't kind. Like,
I know. Yeah, no one's wait. He's not like this horrible kid when he gets hit by a dirt bike. Everyone's like, "Oh, thank God." That's just me.
You were like that. You've already admitted.
I know. That's what I said. That's just
you
me.
couldn't wait for Billy to die. You are Joel.
It's whoa, easy on that
dead
one,
kid Ben.
Well, he wasn't dead at the time. I feel bad that he died, but sometimes a kid needs to get what's coming to him, right?
Right. Billy needs to die. I said that earlier.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page. Sandra, you're the outlier here.
I ain't joining you in this.
I really need the help right now, dude. Please. So Ed returns, and this goes as well as can be expected, as he scoops up his son and just drives off.
Not before mean mugging Steve.
Oh,
right? He mean mugs him. And there's this like intense music in the background. And I feel like Ed needed to do more, even though Steve didn't deserve more. He didn't even deserve the mean mugging. But as far as Ed seems very unhinged with his anger, right? Just like shotgunning it everywhere. But at that point, he needed to do more than a mean mug. He needed to say something,
Yeah.
You mean do something more, like take him to a medical practitioner?
Oh,
no,
I
that
bring
seems
that
silly.
up later.
Yeah,
no.
That would have been
right to the witch.
Yeah.
What are your options, though? The witch or Grandpa Wallace?
What are you saying?
I think Grandpa Wallace is the local doctor. I'm pretty sure.
It'd be hilarious. Also, he goes right to the witch, summons Pumpkinhead, then Billy's alive.
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to loot the store.
Who? There's no one around.
It's
got
Steve
no
and his girlfriend. He has no feed. You're right. You take those like $3.25 out of that register. But at the cabin, Joel rips out the phone line. I was surprised there was a phone line.
Why?
Where's the line coming from?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any communication whatsoever in these shacks. They don't even really have power. I'm pretty sure they're all lit by candles.
Telephone poles.
So they have telephone poles, but no power lines.
Yeah, you just can't see them. They're underground.
Yep.
Yeah, they're that advanced. They thought that far ahead. That like I forget even the name of this place. I just say like Scum Creek or something. But it is
Creek.
That's what it should be called. But he's like Joel's on probation for another accident where he hurt someone.
Yeah, a DUI.
Yeah. So we all want this guy to die, and we know what's going to happen.
Or Joel.
Well, I mean, we all want Billy to die.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but we also want some people want Joel to die.
Yeah. Someone needs to kill that asshole.
I mean, these are not the best friends. Like, Joel already has a DUI where he hurt someone. Maybe they should have been a little bit more persistent, adamant about him not driving drunk.
Well, that's the thing too, because his girlfriend brings up like that this accident happened, and no one seems to know about it. So I think we have to say that these aren't friends. It's just Joel and his girlfriend tagged along with his little brother and his friends.
Ooh.
But it just...
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I would agree that you're overly dissecting their relationships. It doesn't matter.
It needs to, or this movie falls apart as a whole, because as we can see, this is a very cohesive film.
Yes, it's built solid without that. Yeah.
So going back to your point, Sandro, I have, why does Ed take Billy back to the house, and why is there no doctor to call?
Even a small town.
Well, but even the girl, I forget which one, if it was Maggie or someone, runs off to. No, Maggie doesn't run off. It's one of the other girls is going to go to the general store to call an ambulance. So this is definitely like within the realm of reason for these kids to think that there is an ambulance available. But that does not seem to be Ed's reasoning, right? Ed's reasoning goes directly to the supernatural, right? He's like, no, we're going for vengeance first, right? That's Ed's mindset.
Yeah, he's going for vengeance by calling the entity that traumatized him as a child. Seems about right.
Thank you. Yeah, Ed is one of the worst people in this movie.
Yes.
There is no rationale to his actions at all.
The only thing that we've kind of skipped over that I think is worth noting is Billy dies, and then, or as Billy is on his way to death, right? And
we Billy needed to die
at all.
We didn't skip over that part.
Oh yeah, we definitely didn't.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's part of the scene. What I thought was really unbecoming of Maggie is that she like falls apart, and then two people need to assist her to walk away, as if it's all about Maggie. And I feel like the focus at that moment for any rational, good person would be to focus on Billy. But like, there's three people all caught up in Maggie's feelings. And I feel like Maggie's got like whatever lead role complex kind of going on, where she's like, oh, this is so hard for me. And I'm like, Maggie, like, get your crap together and let's focus on, Billy. And so I feel like Maggie deserves a little bit of hate, I just wanted to say that. That's all.
It's like it's her first child homicide. Come on. Put your head in the game.
Yeah,
Put your head in the game.
Joel's like, I've done this before, guys. This is fine. How you do it.
Don't worry. I'm not going to jail for a fucking accident, he says. Like, well, you're not, but that is actually what happens in life.
Yeah.
Many people are in jail exactly for that.
I think he's particularly worried, Joel, and I can relate, not relate as if I've been in this spot. Whoops. Cut the recording. Cut it right there. No, but I can imagine. I can imagine what it would feel like, because he's like, "Oh, they're gonna fry me." I think that's the line, something like that. Like they're like, that's it, right? He's gonna die, right? It's not just jail. Like wherever they live, there's the death penalty, right? That's his fear. So you got to feel for Joel a little bit there.
Okay.
Moving along.
So child murder, we can't feel for anyone but the child. Is that what we're all agreeing on here?
Well, I think
Or
we
is
all
that what
agree
you
the fact
guys are
that
agreeing
Billy
on?
had to die.
Billy had to
Billy
die.
had to die.
Oh,
That
hold
should be
on,
the
hold
name
on.
of the movie.
So, Mike, Billy had to die. A little bit of blame goes to Maggie for being distraught, but we need to cut Joel some slack, the actual murderer.
Yeah. The only people I'm mad at in this scenario are Maggie and Ed.
Yeah,
but,
Sandro, Joel's not going to jail for an accident.
but the actual
has to-
murderer, we need to show some sympathy for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is coming from probably the most conservative guy in this group, but I'm feeling bad for the perpetrator here. And I am taking
Sometimes
it
you just
out.
have to murder children.
Yeah. Right. Just to
Deep-seated-
keep the movie going.
Deep-seated
Right?
hatred for Billy is not very deep.
I love Billy, but Billy had to go.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so sorry, we're back at the cabin now.
No. Tell us more about how this child had to die.
No. Let's go back to the cabin. We've established.
All right, so yes. Genius Ed asks Buck Flowers about going to the witch named Haggis. They could have come up with a better name.
That
If
wouldn't
you
have
ask
taken much. Yeah.
No,
What is that called? An apronym? Something like that? Appropriate name?
that's news to
Haggis.
me.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
She does look like a bunch of random things shoved into a sheep's stomach, but the look on Buck's face when Ed shows him Billy's corpse is probably the best acting in the film, in my opinion.
Why are you driving around with that? No.
And Buck refuses to tell him where the witch lives, but one of the grandkids, Bunt, agrees to show him for pay. We eventually get to the witch's shack. What do you guys think about the set here, like the design, all of the work on it? Because honestly, I think it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, it definitely set the mood there. It was good. I think that's exactly what a witch would live in, right?
Yeah,
in a
my experience.
fantasy movie.
Sorry,
you
is this
seem
a
to have problem
documentary?
with this.
I mean, based on real life events. Like,
God. I've talked to numerous people about this, and everyone fights me on it, but I really did not like the makeup for the witch. Am I still alone on this one? Were you guys a fan of it or no?
It's on the nose, we'll say. A little on the nose. You know, like all she was missing, if I don't, maybe she did have it, but I don't recall her having any warts or like a witch's hat. But outside of that, she pretty much hits all the tropes of a typical witch, right? So, yeah.
Sandro, thoughts?
yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay, good. She straight up tells him that she can't raise the dead. And as soon as that happens, I started imagining the movie where Ed's like, oh, okay. And then just leaves. And then goes on a crazy streak of revenge. I think that would be a better movie.
With a pumpkin on his head. You know? That would be it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the movie.
But like, how much better would this movie be, do you think, if they just teased the supernatural, but then just deliver this like vengeance plot almost like Ed Harley, Death Wish. Like you could still call the movie Pumpkinhead,
Right.
because he's like going on this crazy mad vengeance tear from an old folktale.
I mean, if you really want to pull at that thread, you could make it that he snapped mentally, and there is this vision of Pumpkinhead, but later on there's a eureka moment where maybe even a flashback, they show that it is just Ed committing the murders.
Right.
I
Ever
think
since
that
he was a
would have
kid.
made it. Yes,
Yeah.
that would have been great. I think it would
He's
have been so
Pumpkinhead.
much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Billy would have been the heir to the Pumpkinhead kind of reign, right? And so thankfully we ended that,
But
with
what
Joel.
if?
So that means Joel's the hero.
Right. Now
Isn't
you're
he?
getting it.
But no, can you imagine he's in such a rage? Because I see Ed Harley, and
You don't
really
have to do
think-
that every time. Like, just say Ed
Okay,
Harley.
I'm sorry. All right, Ed Harley.
Okay.
Imagine he is this country bumpkin. Like you expect him to be this raging alcoholic. Say he accidentally kills his son and can't deal with it, and blames these city folk that come out of nowhere that are imposing themselves on his small country life, and just focuses his anger on them. In his twisted mind, blames them for his son's death because he can't accept the fact that he did it himself. And then we get this slasher film. I think that would be so much better.
Yeah, it would
And
be
we
like
can
the manifestation of him deflecting guilt.
Exactly. And I think we've made this movie better than it is.
I don't think that bar is very high.
There's a lot of people that would argue you, and I'm not going to say it, but
Well,
maybe I
then
agree.
it's just a bunch of Billies.
So she, Jesus Christ. So she tells him about Razorback Hollow, where people buried family there that they were ashamed of, and he has to dig up a thing and bring it back. There's things I got to do to it before it will be any use to you, is a pretty haunting line.
Yeah. Can we just take one step back to the digging?
Sure.
Okay. So he comes out there with a shovel, and I didn't see anything that was worthy of a shovel. It seems like it's just moss on top of a shriveled up raisin pumpkin head. And I just found that to be like, he just, like the shovel just slides right in, and then he just kind of just uses his hands the rest of the way. He really doesn't use the shovel at all. But that's what the witch told him, Haggis told him to bring, right? Bring a shovel.
Yep.
But I don't know. I just felt like, she made that more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah, she's a little old and frail. It probably would have required tools for her.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think we're expecting way too much from an old witch named Haggis.
Wasn't expecting anything.
Can we admit that this is just reverse Pet Sematary?
Yes, it is entirely that. Another fine movie that Mike introduced me when we were young.
Oh, so good. So yes, of course, Ed goes to this pumpkin patch graveyard. Ed, ha. Can you imagine if he dug up the wrong thing and brought that back? And Hag is just like,
You idiot, this is pumpkin ass.
you brought me pumpkin butt, Ed Harley. The graveyard, I think it looks fantastic, but it looks very much out of a Tim Burton film, and that is not what we're dealing with here.
Oh, I say the witch's hut looks like it's out of a fantasy movie, and I get criticized, but the graveyard looks like it's from a Tim Burton movie.
I stand by my point. It is very much over the top, but I think that fits the tone because you know what? Okay, no, I'm going to backtrack. Sandro, you're right. It looks like it's out of a fantasy film. The graveyard looks like it's out of a Tim Burton film. Now we're getting a little too fantastical, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the movie. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the movie's realistic, but you create a certain level of like imagery, a certain level of realism in just the design, and then you get these couple of things that stick out like a sore thumb. It's just jarring.
We watched a child get killed from being hit or grazed by a dirt bike. That is very brutal and realistic and hard to see. And then you start presenting this kind of imagery, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's so muddled. We don't even know what we're really dealing with now. And even burying Billy in a blanket that looks like it hasn't even seen the sun. The way the thing was knit looks like it's right out of the 50s or 60s, but it is the cleanest thing in the movie. And I'm even considering all the clothing that these teenage 30-year-olds from the city are wearing. It's getting real bad, really bad. Visually and narratively, it's falling apart.
Don't worry, Pumpkinhead's on his way.
Yeah.
Okay. So he does bring that rotten corpse back to the witch. We get the blood ritual to awaken Pumpkinhead. The lighting is terrible, and Mike, I don't know if you caught this. Sandra, I assume you did. But the candle flames flickering looks fantastic. When they cut to the exterior showing the window, or they cut to Ed Harley's face, it's still light. It completely took me out of every scene.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But we finally get to see what this creature, Pumpkinhead, looks like. And please, both of you, tell me your thoughts on the creature design. Because to me, like, I love Stan Winston, but this looked like a knockoff of the Xenomorph from Alien.
Oh, Mike, you go first.
Well, Ben, you'd know better. Which one predates what?
Alien came way before Pumpkinhead.
Okay, and he was involved in Alien as well, right? Aliens, Predator, and Terminator. Those were his things, right?
Was Stan Winston involved with Alien? I don't think so. He was involved in Terminator for sure.
I think he was involved in Aliens. So I just wonder if it was just like a reject. Can you look that up real quick?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I don't see it. No. Terminator, sure. The Thing before that.
Okay. Well, then my information is wrong. But yeah, I would say that the costume was good. Like, I think it beats out a lot of the CGI stuff of modern day horror, for sure. Yeah, it exceeded my expectations. Looking back, like watching it a second time, like, or a fifth or sixth time, most recently, I'd say that it was great. I liked the costume. I thought it captured my attention. It was scary looking. I liked it.
Sandra?
I've always hated it, but I think that's but I think that's part of what made it so much fun, is because even when I was young and watched it, I was like, that looks so stupid. But, they act like it's the most imposing thing ever, which, I guess if I saw that in real life, I would be terrified as well. But yeah, no, I actually think it looks terrible and I hate it, but that's what makes me like it.
Yeah, it says here Stan Winston won his first Academy Award for Best Visual Effects in 1986. Aliens.
Aliens, exactly, the sequel. So, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha,
but I see a bunch of that right down to like the protruding like shoulder blade things. I really don't like this creature design, but I think it works really well for the tone of the movie. So I have to give it a pass on that one.
I think it's not even as scary as Ed Harley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lance Henriksen can terrify me. That's for sure.
Yeah. He's an interesting looking man. Like I said, a jacked Sphinx cat. Also in Aliens.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. Let's see here. I totally lost my place. Okay, here we go. During the drive back to the house, Ed starts hallucinating, and we get what I thought was a really poor jump scare of Billy coming back to life. Did that catch either of you, or were you just like rolling your eyes and being like, let's move on?
Well, it didn't catch me as a jump scare. I think the issue is that it really did feel like a hallucination and not Billy coming to life. Again, you could write this in a way that this is Ed transforming into Pumpkinhead himself, and the visions of Billy maybe egging him on, being kind of like the puppeteering of the witch. Although I don't know why she would want to kill the kids, but it doesn't make sense. So
this really should have been a psychological thriller as opposed to a straight up creature feature. But like we talked about with not reporting things to a doctor, I don't think if your little boy dies, you can just bury him and not report it to any authorities.
No, it definitely looks a little suspicious, especially when you're going to go off and kill a bunch of teenagers as well, right? It's hard to really make a convincing argument that you had nothing to do with killing the boy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So Ed looks like the most, if you were to like be at the end of this, and we're not going to give away how it all ends, but if save for the end of the movie, had the police all of a sudden arrived, I think Ed's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. And it really wouldn't hide it well when he just uses red paint to cross off the and son from his grocery store sign.
Well, he could just use the blood from his hand. It looks like he's got like battle marks, right? Like, no, it's the witch. Right? It was the witch that did it. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like Ed's in a lot of trouble here. And he might realize that his time is short.
Well, yeah. His time is short, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where we start getting into major plot holes. Oh, yeah, thank you. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for you to bring stuff up about this, because my next note just says Pumpkinhead finds Steve and Maggie, despite the fact that Ed doesn't know who these people are or what role they had to play in the death of his son.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
because he wasn't there to see it. Like, he saw the body after and the one guy there. Who else was involved? Where they went? Imagine these people were just like, you know what? Forget this. Let's go back to the city.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's Pumpkinhead like running around the city.
Yeah,
right?
it's Pumpkinhead takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe, right? But I feel like I can get behind, for the reasons mentioned earlier, why Maggie needs to go. But Steve, right? Like, what's Steve have to do anything? And I feel like Pumpkinhead or Ed, should be able to discern, at least one person to focus on. Like, does he think that it was a mass like gathering and murder of Billy, that they were all like beating him? He's got no marks. Like, he has no questions to when it originally happens to have any idea what led to Billy's death, right? And it's just wild, right?
There's so many problems here, because Joel has a come to Jesus moment for some reason, decides that he's going to be better. There's a shot of Pumpkinhead walking past the window that no one notices. But Steve, we need to worry about Steve here, because he is the one guy to stay behind and look after Billy, who needed to die, as we've said.
Yeah.
And he's the first to go. Why? He did everything he could. He stayed behind. He looked after the injured child. He told Ed what was going on. He was doing everything he could. First one gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if Steve maybe had more to do with it than we thought, right? Because he gets down there with Billy when Billy first gets hit. And
I don't like where this is going.
Right? maybe Steve, maybe Billy wasn't that hurt in the original place anyways, right? And maybe he's like, oh no, he's getting cold, right? And then, boom, chiropractic adjustment.
No.
Right?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to start coming up with an idea where like Billy orchestrated his own death.
Right. See? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Steve might have now more to do with it now that I think back on it, right? right? It's a bit of a deception thing, right? Oh, Steve, oh, look, it's Joel again, being drunk, doing Joel things, right? And he's like, oh, all along, he's wanted Billy to die, right?
So Steve was upset that Joel made fun of Billy because instead of making fun of his bottle of glasses, he should have plotted a murder. Okay.
I'm loving all of this. I can't wait for Mike's remake where like Lance Henriksen's recast as Fraser Crane. It's just called like Moneyhead.
And then you find out that the entire thing of his remake is people in a room betting on it.
Yeah, so sorry, we were all in agreement that Steve and Maggie are the bad guys.
No, that
we
was
were not
you.
all in agreement. That was you.
That was just you.
Oh.
I do want to say this though. We are way too far into a creature feature movie for the body count to start.
Yeah, we definitely are. And that's kind of what I was saying before, how I loved the Full Moon Features movies of the mid 90s, and that's what this felt like. And if that were the case, it would have started at like minute 5, and it would have just kept going.
I feel like this, not that it's a long movie, but the build up to it is way longer than it needs to be. Like, especially if you want to do the whole revenge angle. The more you try to explain it, the less it makes sense. Like, make it a lot quicker, right? Show the death, move forward. Like, yeah.
Ed should have killed. I agree. Ed should have killed Steve right away.
And Billy.
That is not what I was saying at all. But okay.
Yeah, we've got a 25-minute story that takes an hour and 27 minutes to tell somehow.
Yeah, like. It doesn't have to be a longer story if now you actually just make more extended like pursuit of Pumpkinhead trying to get to these kids, regardless of the motivation or not. Build more tension, give them a little bit more in regards to like, say, hope spots and attempts to fight back. But you spend so much time on origin, and then it feels like once Pumpkinhead starts killing them, then that just flies by, and I feel like you've done the movie a bit of a disservice in regards to structure and pacing.
Yeah. What do we think about Ed having visions? We know what's happening here, right?
He's turning into Pumpkinhead, right?
He's turning into Pumpkinhead.
Exactly, yeah. And at the cabin, they cover up Steve's body with a blanket, which would have been insanely effective if Steve could stop blinking. It totally ruined that scene for me.
Oh, well, hey, we've quickly learned that what you do in this world when someone dies is cover them with a blanket and don't seek medical help.
Yeah. Well, then Ed Harley heads back to Haggis's shack. His visions of the deaths are driving him insane. So, yeah, he's going to die trying to stop this. And
I feel like he bails on that way too quick. He bails on his vengeance too fast. Right?
Yes, I agree.
I didn't know that this creature that was murdering people when I was a child would just go and murder people if we summoned it now.
Yeah, I want them all to die, but I don't want them all to die.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
It's very problematic. Like, did you think you were summoning Pumpkinhead to give them a stern talking to?
Well, you see, Joel, you need to stop pushing the throttle as hard as you do on your...
No, not Lance Henriksen talking to them.
That was my attempt at Pumpkinhead, but I think I'm getting sick. I do have to say, though, we get one of the best lines in the movie, and it's not my most memorable line, but when Ed says to Haggis, "God damn you," and she responds, "He already has Ed Harley."
Oh, good one.
Great line. Too good for this movie.
But at the same time, like, every time they give you more information on this witch, you're also like, so what's her story? What's her connection to Pumpkinhead? Why is she here? Nobody questions that.
I think that's Ed Harley's wife.
What? Billy's mom?
This is strange. Yeah, it's Billy's mom.
Can you imagine? He shows up with a corpse and she's like, to die.
Billy had to die. I'm ready to get back with you, Ed. Couldn't stand Billy.
What did he think was going to happen? He dug up a monster corpse, partook in a blood ritual with a witch, and was told to go home and wait. Like, where are we going?
Could happen at that point.
I guess, yeah, in this movie. So Pumpkinhead rams Maggie's corpse through the kitchen window. Obviously, he's not playing around anymore. Ramping that up. How are we feeling so far?
Oh man, loving it. Absolutely. There's so much enjoyment in Pumpkinhead's lack of finesse, we'll say. Like, this is purely a guttural creature that is just given a directive and fulfill, like, almost kind of like a Terminator, right? Like, it doesn't really have a conscience or any need for like tact itself. It is just a vicious, brutal killing machine. And it's almost gleeful.
And I think we really should give some credit to that because we're ripping this movie apart, boys.
Yeah. But hey, Maggie, you wanted to feel like you were the main character of the story? Here you go.
Oh, yeah. And now we've got the first two kills are the right first two kills, right? We got rid of Steve, who killed Billy.
And first is Billy.
Maggie,
come on now.
And Maggie made it all about her. Yeah. Yeah. See? Boom, boom, boom. Right? We got all the right people.
But this is so misleading to me because now it feels like we're on the right path, and then we veer off of that rather quickly. Pumpkinhead breaking into the cabin, dragging Kim away. We get the amazing shot. I don't care what either of you have to say. I think it's a stunning shot of the creature's hand just wrapping around her entire head and dragging her away. Probably the most haunting shot of the movie.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. It's well done.
Yeah. The city folk flee to the Wallaces.
Wait, we have to pause again. Now,
okay.
I want to take a moment to kind of recap Joel, okay? The heroine of the movie. Now, he wants to stay out of jail, right? He wants to stay out of jail. And what I've got him for in this movie is negligent homicide, and then hit and run, leaving the scene, and then unlawful imprisonment, and
domestic violence.
Yeah, right. And assault, right? Because he hits his brother with, I forget what, and knocks him out cold. Right?
Oh, don't forget vandalism for ripping the phone out. That's not his count.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like he's a misguided soul that just needs some direction. And I feel like your proposal as to what Pumpkinhead could have been from Ed's perspective might be exactly what Joel needed to kind of turn his life around. Right?
I like where you're going here.
Of his friends, we'll say.
No. What I'm saying is that, you thought that Ed was maybe wishing that Pumpkinhead would have been more of a mentor. These kids,
that's not what I was saying.
And coming out and kind of saying, "Hey, this is how you have to live your life," right? And I think that would have been a really good movie. Is that Pumpkinhead mentors these kids back to something better, but
they save the rec center afterwards,
right? But first, he has to kill Maggie and Steve, and then Pumpkinhead turns his life around too, right?
I think I would have believed you more if you said, I wish Pumpkinhead was the dog Gypsy getting revenge for them killing his buddy Billy.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It was an alternative way of doing this movie.
This train's gone off the rails.
Sorry. Okay.
I don't think it.
No, I'm 100% on board with you. I want to see that movie too. That would be amazing.
Okay, so we'll leave that as like we'll kind of like put a post-it in that, and we'll come back to that if we see a point of coming back to that. Yeah,
yeah, we'll definitely see a point for that. All right, so they run to the Wallaces, and Pa Wallace sends them off, echoing the beginning of the film. But Ed just shows up and shoots the monster down, only for it to pop back up and kill Joel. The Wallace's dog attacks Ed, and Bunt tries to help the remaining, we'll just keep calling them city folk, by taking them to the ruins of an old church. Which is a bad call, we can all agree on, because if you get in between the monster and its targets, you become marked as well. And this is where Bunt explains... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure they make that clear that, like, the monster, the reason nobody wants to help is because the monster will only kill the people that it's directed to and anyone that gets in the way of that. So, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I like that story.
Definitely a bad idea for Bunt.
Yeah, Bunt doesn't know much. Is he also the one that didn't know about the Pumpkinhead song?
No, he's the oldest one that was teasing them and tried to spook Maggie with the ball after he gave it back.
Okay, so he knows the song, but he doesn't know. He
even knew where the witch was to give Harley directions. So he definitely knows what's up.
Yeah, so he missed some of the key points of the lesson. So he might have been out having a smoke or something when Grandpa Wallace was teaching the story of Pumpkinhead, and he stepped out at just the wrong time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably what happened. Right?
Well, Bunt explains the legend behind Pumpkinhead, what it is, what it does. And is it Chris that tells them that they killed Billy? It makes me feel bad for Bunt. It really does. So, again, one of the few people that I actually feel bad for in this movie.
Where this movie also wouldn't have taken place if Bunt didn't show Ed Harley where the witch was.
There's a lot of people that messed up that could have avoided this entire plot from unfolding.
Other than Joel. Yeah.
Other than Joel, yes. And the monster arrives, and it doesn't really do anything, and everyone runs away. So Chris hops on one of the dirt bikes and is immediately messed up. And Ed shows up, obviously one of the mark now, because he's getting in the way and interfering and tries to save Bunt and Tracy. Tracy goes to talk to Ed, leaving Bunt behind, and he is just grabbed by the monster after the gypsy jump scare. Do you feel, because in the next scene we see that Ed's not doing so well, and I think we all know where this is going. Do you feel like this is rushed or necessary at all for the plot of this movie? Because it feels like they're just introducing something in the last act that we don't really need.
Well, in their defense, they were introducing stuff we didn't need from the beginning act.
Yeah, like the credits. This movie doesn't need to exist. I'll just say that. So Ed gets his flamethrower, accidentally impales himself on a pitchfork while walking, somehow, which the monster also feels. And my note just says, yeah, we're going there.
But Ben, where are we going?
Wrapping it up soon, hopefully. As Tracy tries to set the monster on fire, and now it's looking more like Ed, which I have to say, as dumb as that is, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
With Winston directing this, we know we're getting decent special effects. And I really, like, as much as I want to shit on this movie, it has some very strong points. And I think things like this are one of them. We've already talked about the character design, the creature design. But for the most part, can I say that we all agree that when it comes to special effects in this movie, we're doing pretty good?
Special effects might be one of the bigger highlights of the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from them. It's not distracting or anything. It just adds a good layer to the movie, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree completely. It adds so much to it because this is kind of a weak storyline, but when you can visually show us something that will take you aback and make you ponder what you're looking at, you're doing a pretty good job. Until Ed shoots himself in the head, dropping both himself and the monster, but somehow neither die. Do either of you want to try and explain that one?
No. This is not something that can be explained. You just have to accept it as a part of the plot that the movie decided was going to be there.
Yeah, I'd say Ed sucks life, right? And even in unaliving himself, he fails, right? He fails miserably here. He fails at vengeance. He fails at saving anyone, really. He fails at fatherhood, as seemingly as a husband. He lost his wife, Haggis. We all agree. And he failed as a child in the opening scene. So this just kind of fits, right? Ed is not good at anything, right? He's not good at opening up a store. His location, he said, right? And then he picked there, right? Making signs.
Not to mention he forgot to bring the feed. Yeah.
He didn't have the feed ready for the only customers that he has.
Yeah, the only other people that live in the area.
Yeah, it seems like it's not the first time. The Wallaces are not putting up with it again, right?
I forgot the one thing I had to do.
Yeah, and he fails at taking his son to the hospital. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me that Ed fails at this. I think it wraps up Ed, right?
I also don't know how Ed can shoot himself in the head and not die. But
the connection to Pumpkinhead is keeping him alive.
But it doesn't.
It's magical.
It's not, though.
It is.
No, because Pumpkinhead's about to kill Bunt, and Ed Harley begs Tracy to shoot him, and she does, which kills him. So he can't shoot himself in the head and die.
That's right.
But Tracy can shoot him in the head, and he'll die, along with the creature. The latter erupting into flames, which honestly was pretty badass.
Oh, Pumpkinhead gave him a second health bar.
Oh, come on. So we cut to Haggis placing Ed's corpse into the pumpkin patch graveyard nonsense and burying him
in a lair of moss.
Yeah, and we just cut to black, roll credits, end of movie.
Boom.
Quick question. When she was burying Harley, did she have a shovel? Because if she didn't have a shovel, then she just gave bad information earlier.
Mike has brought this up.
I don't know. I should have known that. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Let me down, man.
I'm sorry.
Can you imagine? She just puts him in the hole, and it cuts to a wide shot, and she's just like maneuvering an excavator, just like dumping dirt on top of him. Somehow it's on this weird like toadstool pedestal thing.
Yeah.
Where he dug him out of in the first place.
Haggis is a lot more nimble than you would have thought too. The fact that she gets up there, is able to drag a body, like she's doing well, right? But she's got to bury her husband, right?
As we've all agreed.
Yes. The takeaway from this movie is that Billy had to die, and Haggis is Mrs. Harley.
Haggis Harley,
and that Joel was the hero.
Yeah, and he tried to take out.
Have you back on the show?
He tried to take out the Harley family, like that's a serial killing family, and Joel tried to do what's right, and Steve helped. They're a good brother duo. And yeah, it was unfortunate for them.
Well, I mean, Steve's not a good brother, because if they were a murdering family and you're rooting Joel on, he's trying to help Billy. He should have been trying to stomp him out.
Remember? I did mention the alternative plot line, right? Where Steve did a chiropractic adjustment on Billy to finish him off, right? And played innocent, right?
I did forget that. Yes, I apologize.
Yeah. That's okay. You got to keep up.
Oh my God, this movie it's something. It was definitely made. We'll just say that. Do you guys want to guess how much this movie was made for?
I already know the answer, so I'll leave that for Sandro.
Let's see. 2 million?
3.2.
Oh, okay.
The gross is an interesting one though, because I only have the number for the States, most likely theatrical. So it is a cult classic. It's made a lot of money, home media, but as far as like box office, Mike, do you know this one too?
No.
Okay. Well,
No. So I'll participate in this guess. I'm going to go with 20 million.
Okay. Sandra?
2.
4.4.
Profit.
This movie
I think it made its
not,
movie on rentals and VHS sales.
Yeah, this movie did not make a profit in theaters. It needed to make at least 6.4 to cover just marketing, and it did not do that. The scores for ratings really caught me off guard.
Okay.
We'll go with IMDb. Out of 10, what do you think the masses have rated it?
6.7.
I'm going to say 4.8.
6.2.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. And I'll say right now, that's the best it got.
Oh.
So moving to Rotten Tomatoes, percentage of positive reviews from the critics would be what?
30?
yeah, I was feeling like a 27.
Okay.
50.
Oh.
Jeez.
Not bad.
I'm shocked. I'm very much shocked by that. As far as the popcorn meter for the general audience, what do you guys think?
What? I don't know that meter. What does it go up to?
It's out of
It's the
100.
same thing. It's a
Out of 100?
percentage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say that it's a cult classic, so it's got to have...
Careful.
He already gave us a clue. The highest one was 6.2, you said?
2.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it was that high. I was going to say like 5.8. Like, I think it'll be close to it because it is a cult classic for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go right in that same range, 5.5, 55%.
49.
Oh.
The lowest.
Okay, well, people have spoken.
But now I'm like, after this conversation, I'm very curious to hear people's awards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we always ask our guests to go first. So, Mike, who did you have for your least favorite character?
Oh boy, there's a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Ed. I'm going to go with Ed on this one. I feel like Ed missed out. Ed missed out on the vengeance that could have been had for Steve. The glare that he gave just felt a little beta to me for a man of his like stature. It just felt like, he was going to go home and tell his mom or his wife, but his wife left him, right? So, yeah, Ed just felt a little weak, a little light in the loafers. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. Between you and I, Ben, you go first.
I was going to say Joel, played by John D'Aquino. Nothing about this character made sense. He had no reason to not be in prison from the beginning. He is a hang-around with his brother and their friends. He, to his credit, killed Billy, which, I mean, Billy had to die. But he was...
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, thank you.
But he was just so frustrating as a character. He didn't need to exist in this movie. A catalyst, maybe, but really, if Billy fell over because he was scared and died, Ed would have done the exact same thing. So the Joel character was just so frustrating. Didn't get any comeuppance, really, whatsoever. And with what we saw in the movie, if anybody was supposed to be blamed for it, it should have been Joel. But he's not even the first one to go. So that made it even more frustrating for me. I really hated the character. The thing is, the actor played the character well. It's just the character didn't need to exist. So that's why he's my least favorite. Sandro?
Yeah, I had Joel as well. There's definitely a case to be made for Ed Hawley. Because, he shows up and Billy's on the ground, but he doesn't know that he got hit by a motorcycle, allegedly. He could have gotten bit by a rattlesnake or something. Don't ask questions and you just start killing people. But, I mean, there's nothing redeeming about Joel in this movie. Nothing.
No, nothing at all.
All right. So, Mike, who did you have as the best character?
That would be Joel.
Oh my God.
So, as you guys have noted, Joel was kind of the hero of the movie.
We know.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure I was listening when you guys said Joel did a good job at everything. And I would agree with that. I would agree with you guys on that Joel really showed, he embodied what it is to be a real man. He saw the threat and he took it out, right? And that was Billy.
Oh my God.
Okay. So between you and I go first on best character. I went with Lance Henriksen as Ed Harley. And that's pretty much based on performance because it's Lance Henriksen. There really isn't great characters in this movie individually, so it really has to come down to performance for me, and that's pretty much the whole reason he got it. Ben?
I'm also going with Lance Henriksen, and that is because I think he's actually a half-decent character. He is a tragic character in that he has nothing left in his life to love but his son. And when his son dies, he does what he thinks he has to do and takes action, seeks vengeance, goes for revenge. But he just keeps messing up everything he does. He is a flawed, tragic character, but he's always trying to do what he thinks is the right thing to do. You could have put anybody else in this role, and I still would have picked this character. As much as I want to make fun of him, he is the heart and soul of the movie. And I would say probably the strongest point. It's the only really good writing other than my favorite quote. So yeah, Lance Henriksen is my favorite character.
Okay. Mike, what did you have for your favorite or most memorable line?
It would be Steve, and I've already mentioned it once before, and it's he's getting cold. That was my favorite. My favorite line.
I needed that confirmed kill on Billy. That's what made it all so good.
Yeah, I feel like it was his way of letting us know that it's all over for Billy, even though there was no reason for it to be over. It was just the perfect way to kind of move the plot along. Oh yeah, Billy's dead. Weird, eh, guys? He's so cold, right? So I thought that was good. I thought it was really diabolical, and Steve played his part well as looking like an innocent guy,
Okay. And what was your favorite line?
My favorite line was from the amazing Buck Flower as Mr. Wallace. You want to bet on Ed Harley, fucking Pumpkinhead? Money plane.
Didn't happen.
No, it was Buck Flower, and I think it was the most heartfelt line of the movie when Ed tries to convince him to tell him where Haggis lives, and he just says, you go home, and you bury your boy. Smartest thing said in the entire film, would have changed everything and saved everybody except for Billy. But the writing was good, the delivery was perfect, and you couldn't have a better actor convey that. So yeah, Buck Flower for me. Sandra?
Okay. I'm starting to change my mind because you won't stop doing it, but it was just the witch saying, "You're a fool, Ed Harley."
It's amazing.
It was.
And it helps explain the relationship and how things fell apart for them,
Allegedly.
I'm still waiting for my alimony, Ed Harley.
Right?
Mike,
living in a shack.
Mike, what did you have for your favorite or most memorable scene?
Probably it'd be Ed and the mean mugging of Steve. That part. Oh, it fell flat on Ed's manliness, It just showed Ed's true flaws as a human being, his inability to spot the real criminal and act accordingly, and attack Steve and finish him off right there. And probably would have, it just showed Ed's his flaws, as Ben was saying. He's a flawed man, and we're kind of made aware of his flaws right there. This guy's weak, right? And that's what Ben kind of was alluding to, is how weak he was, and that's why he mean mugged him. Right.
All right. So I had Billy falling sideways next to the motorcycle. Yeah. And it's because it was so poorly shot that it wasn't even slightly convincing that he would have gotten a scraped knee from it, let alone a fatal injury.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah. My note just says the dumbass kid getting hit by the dirt bike.
What's with the Billy hate? Like, come on.
He's the worst, man. Like, he's just terrible. But he is the catalyst.
Dog. Like,
I don't care that the dog was fine. He had stopped. He was running. He stopped. The dog was fine. Steve missed him just fine. Joel landed next to him and he fell over from shock and died. I don't know. But it was just terrible. Like, it looked bad on screen. It's a super shitty part of the story, but everything hinders on him being hit by Joel. And I didn't even care about him in the first place. So now I can't really back Ed Harley's rage. It's frustrating, but it's the most memorable scene because from when that happens, I don't care about the movie anymore because it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. And one last point on that scene, I just wonder if anyone of the other, maybe there's other heroes that we failed to recognize that maybe called out Gypsy, right? From the store.
I think saying there are heroes in this movie might be something you should keep
Joel,
to yourself,
Steve.
But...
Yeah, Joel and Steve being the heroes. I wonder if maybe one of their girlfriends called out Gypsy to kind of get the whole ball rolling, right? Oh, Gypsy, Gypsy
maybe. Yeah, Gypsy's the hero of the entire thing. Yeah. When does Gypsy disappear in the movie?
Oh,
yeah,
it's a weird question to ask.
Gypsy is there when Gypsy barks at Ed. I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? Like feeling the ominous, change in Ed. That's the only part I remember him after the scene.
Yeah. Interesting.
And he cowards out too, yeah. Just like Ed.
All right. So that was our awards. Let's get to our final thoughts. Mike.
Awards. There's no prestige here.
Mike, what was your final thoughts on Pumpkinhead?
Yeah, it's a tragic story of two people just trying to make things right in the world, and Ed and Steve and Joel, and then it's their tragedy, right? Is sometimes when we're trying to fight for what's right, we end up losing our life, and then that's what ends up happening. And Ed has misdirected anger, but it was good. It was good. It was a good story. I like the idea of Billy, passing away. That was a good part of the story. that was really.
Oh my God! Your strongest point of the story is a poor child dying.
Well, and we have different ideas of what Billy was about.
Fair enough.
That's been obvious. So yeah, no, it was good. It was a good movie. I'm glad to have watched it again. It's been a long time, and it held up, which is awesome. For me, I was
sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I got to watch it with my wife. It was her first time watching it, and she loved it. So
see, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Is it something? Oh, obviously, if you showed your wife, it is something you would recommend to people.
100%. I think I'll pass it along with my kids soon. After I read them the poem, right? And then I'll let them know later in life, kind of when they rewatch it, what really happened in the movie. There's what you guys thought happened, And then there's the deeper level of what really happened in the movie. But that's more of like when they're like,
Wow.
14, right? That's when you find out.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting take.
How do I follow that up? I found this movie was a little bit difficult to watch, rewatching it, because of the pacing issues that took place setting up the movie before you actually get to the creature feature portion. I think the first time through watching it with friends probably helped pass the time of that part a little bit better. So I would say it's a recommend, but as long as you're not watching it by yourself, because you might even check out mentally before you get to the Pumpkinhead portions, just kind of by that prolonged beginning. But I would recommend it as long as you are aware that it is a little bit of a slow burn and then a sprint to the end. Ben?
We've had fun ripping this movie apart and just making fun of different things, but I'm going to get kind of serious on this.
We weren't being serious already?
No. I recently rewatched Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. And my biggest complaint about that is that he tried to create so much backstory in the first half of the movie that we did a speed trial on John Carpenter's amazing film. I feel like we really could have used that here. I would like more backstory. I would like more characters. That would be phenomenal. We need this community to feel more lived in, and there's not enough characters to do that. And as such, the movie itself feels really hollow to me. This movie's not even an hour and a half long, and the story that it tells takes a fraction of the runtime to convey what they're trying to. The effects are good. The acting, for the most part, is passable. The characters are empty. The movie, it's missing something. It feels like a treatment that hasn't been filled out. This movie has 3 sequels, and as we said, an R.L. Stine remake for kids. Does it deserve to be a franchise? I don't think so. It's a really fun watch, but like we always talk about, it's a great watch with friends, but if this isn't part of a double feature, then I think everybody watching it with you is going to be disappointed. It's a weak recommend, but people still might enjoy something about it. I don't know. This one's a mystery to me, guys. I really don't care to watch it again, but it's still in my list of enjoyable 80s horror films. It's very confusing. I would recommend watching the sequel, but I would stop after Blood Wings. I wouldn't watch any others. I didn't realize that there was an FMV FPS game that came out for Blood Wings. I kind of want to watch a playthrough of that, but this is a disaster of a movie. It's a disaster of a franchise, but it's hard to say. It hurts to watch, but it's like punching a bruise until it doesn't hurt anymore. I love this movie.
What are you talking about?
This belongs. You know what? I'd say
I'm so torn.
I'd say this belongs in the bargain bin, right? And that's what the show's about, right? This movie belongs nowhere but the bargain bin.
Well, thank you for saying that, because I've tried to explain my feelings on this movie to multiple people, and I just keep going back and forth the entire time, because I want to defend it, but I hate it, but I love it. It's an anomaly. So
you know what? It bothered me that I had to pay money to watch it. That's how I feel about it. I had to pay $4.99.
I think you just nailed it right there.
Yeah. So if it was available to me, the right stars would have to align for me to find myself watching the movie.
Yeah.
Again. And Yeah, it would be that I'd want it to be free. I'd even like it better if I was getting paid, which neither of those things are happening with you guys. So, yeah, thanks. But yeah, no, it's worth watching with friends, and I think that's exactly what this movie is ideally to be watched for free with friends, with no expectations of it being good, right? Just to rip on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have the VHS, I have the DVD, and I keep watching it. And as I'm watching it, I ask myself, why the fuck am I watching this?
Yeah.
But I keep doing it. So there's something there. I don't know if we hit on it or not, but I think this might have been the most divisive movie for me that we've covered on this show.
Awesome.
I just watched it for free on Tubi, but yeah. Anyway, that was our thoughts on Pumpkinhead. If you'd like to share your thoughts with us, you can share on social media. We are on Twitter at BSBargainBin, Facebook.com/BSBargainBin, and of course the comments section on YouTube. Mike, thank you so much for joining us on this movie. I do not think it would have gone this way without you.
Yes, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Ben. Yes.
What is the movie that we are watching next time?
Next time we'll be covering 2025's The Home.
You saw how clean this place was coming in?
Yes, sir.
Your job is to keep it that way.
And no fourth floor, darling. Those patients need special care. Off limits to you.
These are good people. They deserve comfort in their twilight years.
Here to get your garbage.
You know, you've got interesting eyes.
There's something very wrong with this place. Something terribly wrong.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna hurt you.
It's time to play by the rules.
What is going on?
Sometimes, when things are bad on the outside, we have to look on the inside.
Until next time, have a good one.
All the best.
This program is a proud part of the Swear2Pod Network.